everybody, welcome. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Tilayo. Welcome to our first class. All right, thanks for joining me. All right, our topic for today is active and passive voice. I say active and passive voice. Now, what do we mean by active and passive voice? Let's go to the first one, which is what? Active voice. Active voice means a sentence has a subject that acts upon a verb. Now, take note of these key words: a subject and a verb. A subject and a verb. We are all familiar with verb. Verbs are action words. Verbs are what? Action words. Now, when we talk about subjects, subject refers to the performer or the doer of an action, or who we are talking about. Okay, subject refers to the performer or the doer of an action in a sentence. So if I say the boy is dancing, the boy is dancing. The boy is dancing. Good. Now, what is the subject there? Who is doing the action? Who is performing the action? Who is the doer? The boy. Good. The boy. Now, what is action there? In this sentence, the boy is dancing. Good job. Dancing. Thank you. Now, active voice means a sentence has a subject. A subject, there must be somebody or something that is carrying out the action. The boy is playing on the field. The boy is playing on the field. I never said playing on the field, okay? The boy is playing on the field. If I say the boy is playing on the field, who is playing on the field? The boy. Thank you. And what is the boy doing on the field? Playing. So the boy is our what? Subject. While our verb is what? Playing. Let's look at more examples. The leopard chased the antelope. The leopard chased the antelope. Now, when I say the leopard chased the antelope, what is my subject? The leopard. And what is my action there? Which is what? Chased. The leopard chased the antelope. Remember, an active voice must have a subject who will carry out the action. So what action is the leopard carrying out in the sentence? It is chasing. Now, who is chasing the antelope? The leopard. So we must have a subject and an action in an active voice. Okay? The subject comes first, followed by the action. The subject is doing the action. The subject, which is what? The leopard. It can be man. It can be the man is driving his car. The man drove the car away. The man drove the car away. If I say the man drove the car away, what did the man do? He drove away. Who drove away? The man. There must be somebody carrying out the action. Okay? That's what I mean by active voice. We're going to look at some more examples, but let's go to passive voice. Passive voice means a subject is the recipient of a verb action. Now, after you have your subject and you have the action, there must be somebody or something that will receive the action. If I say the man drove the car, the man drove the car. Let me write that out. The man drove the car. Now look at this. This is still an active sentence, okay? What is the subject here? The man. What is the action? Drove, okay? Now the car is the receiver. Because what did the man drive? What did he take away? What did he drive? What was he doing? Where did he perform the action? The car. He performed the action on the car. Let's look at these examples which are more explicit. Let's look at this. We're looking at this area, the passive voice, okay? Now here, we said active voice, the subject comes first, followed by the action. But in passive voice, the object, the receiver of the action will what? Come first. The receiver of the action will come first. I told us that in active voice, subject is the doer. The person performing, or the person or the thing performing the action. But in passive, we have object. Object is the receiver, the recipient, the person that will receive the action. That's what we mean by object. Now, the object comes first. Look at the first example of active voice there. It says, Sally drove a car off the road. Sally drove a car off the road. Okay. Now, the subject there is what? Sally, because she's the one driving the car. What was the action she performed? Drove. And what did she perform the action on? A car. Now, let's look at passive. In passive, the object will come first, while the subject will come last. Let's take a look at this. The car was driven off the road by Sally. The car was driven off the road by Sally. So now look at this object in passive voice. You can decide to get rid of it. You can decide not to say anything about it. You can just say the car was driven off the road. The car was driven off the road. Now, we don't want to know who drove the car. What we are concerned about is what was driven, okay? But in active voice, we are concerned with the person that performed the action. We are concerned with what? The person that performed the action. But in passive, we are concerned with the receiver of the action. Let's look at another example. Active voice. The dog bit Timmy on the arm. The dog bit Timmy on the hand. Now, the subject here is what? The dog. What did the dog do? Bit. The dog bit. Okay? Who did the dog bit? Timmy. Okay. Now, in passive, remember I said in active, we are concerned with what? The subject, the person carrying out the action, and that person or the thing will come first. But in passive, what happened? Who did the person or the action happen to? Who is the receiver? So, for instance, now let's say mommy slapped Dayo. Mommy slapped Dayo. Now, who slapped who? Mommy slapped. Who was slapped? Dayo. In active, we are concerned with the person that slapped somebody, which is what? Mommy. In passive, we are concerned with who? The person that received the slap. And the person that received the slap will what? Come first. So the person that received the slap will not be, Dayo was slapped by mommy. Good job. Dayo was slapped by mommy. So Dayo, who is the object, will what? Come first. While mommy, who is the subject, will now come last in passive. Now back to our example here. Timmy was beaten on the arm by the dog. Timmy was beaten on the arm by the dog. In active, the dog bit Timmy on the arm. We are concerned with the subject. The subject will come first. In passive, Timmy was beaten on the arm by the dog. We are concerned with the receiver. Who was beaten? Who was received with the recipient, the receiver of the action. All right. Thanks so much for this class. Remember, active voice means a sentence has a subject. In active voice, we are concerned with the subject, the person that carried out the action. While in passive, we are concerned with the person that receives the action, the person the person or the thing whom the action happened to, and that person comes first. Okay. Thanks so much for this class. You can play over and over again to get the main point.